Yo, what's going on, man? Today is April the 22nd, 2024. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA Show, live on Twitter, also live on YouTube as well. Coming off another pretty rough day, man. The NBA playoffs it's really been kicking my butt, man. You might just want to, if you're listening to the show, you might just want to fade everything that I say to play, because what I'm giving out versus what I'm leaning. It's two totally separate things. And the lean's been cashing, but the plays that I've actually been putting money on did not cash. So let's jump into the recap real quick, and then we'll get into the three games that we got for today. And appreciate everybody for tapping in as always. So Dallas on the money line, very lethargic effort from them in the first half yesterday. That game was over with early. Shout out to Ty Lue for getting this guys ready, even shorthanded without Kawhi Leonard yesterday. The team total did cash, though. I didn't give that out on the show, but I did send it out to the members, just doing a little bit more deep diving. The Clippers didn't even need to score 111 points yesterday, so that team total did go under. And then OKC, really liked them to come out, get the job done yesterday. First half full game. Nah, the Pelicans were actually the only team to win. To win the spread, both I think first half and full game. Over the course of the whole weekend, the road teams have been struggling, but not the Pelicans. Even with the major rest disadvantage, they came in and they should have won the game. Honestly, they just couldn't make a shot late. And you see SGA go to the free throw line, hit a shot and get fouled at the end of the game. So plays have been trash, man. I lost another almost 1.5 units yesterday. The playoffs have started 3-8. Minus 5.9 units. I'm never gonna run away from it. Always gonna be transparent. I just been getting smoked. So I haven't placed a bet today. It's a couple things that I'm looking at. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. It's be a shorter show today. But I hope you guys been cashing because it's been absolutely brutal for myself. So Orlando and Cleveland, first game up. We got the Cavs laying 5.5 total, sitting at 203. This total has come down. So this was one of the winners that I do have out of the 11 plays. One of the three winners. We cashed on the under in this game. I think it was 207, 208.5 in game one, and it's dropped down to 20. It was down to 202.5, and there's still some 202s I think out there, but it did come up to 203. And I just think the Cavs are. I think the Magic are just overmatched in this contest. So a lot of the handicapping that I do for these playoff, these series, these back-to-back series, is you got to kind of figure out what was the outlier game by game to figure out what you think is going to change. And, if you're going to like a team, a little bit more, a little bit less in the next game. So I talked about this before. I talked about the Magic being able to really struggle to score the basketball because I thought Cleveland was going to lock in defensively. And because this presents a really, really difficult matchup. The one thing that the Cleveland Cavaliers, the one thing Orlando Magic do really, really well is scoring the ball in the paint. They're a very slow team. They turn the ball over a lot. They do force turnovers, but they turn the ball over a lot. And they just can't – they struggle with being able to shoot from the perimeter. In that game, they shot what? They shot 21% from the three-point line. Orlando shot 8 for 37. I think a lot of that was like trying to get the cobwebs out. First time in the playoffs with a very young team, led by a second-year player, Paolo Banchero. Orlando also shot terrible from the free throw line. They shot 19 for 30, 63% on wide open free throws, uncontested free throws. And the Cavs, I think if you like them in game one, I think you potentially run it back here. The one thing I don't think I took into consideration was in the handicap on the game for Saturday was how motivated the Cavs were going to be. This wasn't even about Orlando. This was about how they finished the season versus the Knicks last year. Like, you could tell the demeanor and some of the post-game comments, they were destined to get that bad taste out of their mouth. Now, can they run it back and do it again? I think that they can. 5.5 is, asking this team to win by 2 possessions. They won game 1 by 14, and they only shot 26.7% from the three-point line themselves. They only made 8 threes out of 30 attempts. If you watch the game, they did get off to a really, really hot start in the first quarter. Forgot how many points they ended up scoring, but I know they scored some points in the first quarter, and then just after that, the scoring kind of tailed off for both teams. They scored 33 points in the first quarter, but then they didn't even have another 25-point quarter. It was 20, 20, and 24 in the second, third, and fourth quarter for Cleveland. Now, Orlando, I said this in the video over the weekend that we did for game one. I said, don't be surprised if Orlando has like a 17, 18-point quarter. And they had two of them. They had a 15 and a 17-point quarter, and really, really struggled to score the basketball. One of the strengths for this Orlando team is rebounding the basketball. It's not that easy, though, when you got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley down there. They were out-rebounded 54 to 40. The Cavs, they turned the ball over 18 times and still won the game by 14. And Orlando only turned the ball over 12 times. Orlando also held Cleveland to just 12 fast break points. And Orlando had 18 fast break points. So you look at the game, you said, man, both of these teams can play a lot better. I know Orlando can play better. Like that 83 points is a tad bit too low. I didn't think that they would score that many points, but I did think, I thought Cleveland defense would play a lot better. And this wasn't the Cleveland defense that we saw at the end of the season. This was a really good defensive team. So I say all that to say this. I think both teams can play a lot better. Orlando, even though they aren't the greatest offensive team, I think they can contribute more scoring than they did in game one, like 83 points. And I think the team totals like 80. It's 94, 95, something like that today. I do think that they could get there. Like I talked about it. They missed 11 free throws, and I'm not expecting them to make all their free throws, but I expect them to shoot better than 63% from the free throw line. I also expect them to shoot better from the three-point line, 21.6%. Cleveland's defense from the three-point line is good. It's not that good. Cleveland's not that great of a three-point defensive team. So I look for Paolo Banchero. I think that, Coach Mosley will make those adjustments, and some of those guys, Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Gary Harris. I do think that, they'll end up making a few more shots in this game today. And I also think that Cleveland will be able to score the ball better. Like I said, Cleveland, they didn't shoot the ball well from the three-point line either. They shot just 26.7%, 8 for 30 from the three-point line, and that's the biggest advantage I think that they have in this game. So a couple different ways. Well, one way that I think that I really want to play it is I want to look towards Cleveland to score in this game. I think that I think both teams will score. I like the over. 202.5 is out there. Understanding that, these teams do play pretty slow. Cleveland's going to try to get out and push the pace. Orlando's going to try to slow it down and make Cleveland play against their half-court defense. Like, I get all that. I just think that it's going to be I think 202 is a tad bit too low. So favorite play in the game is the total. If I had to play the side, I probably would be looking towards Cleveland and laying the 5.5, but I'm not playing the side in this game. I'll stay with the total if I do play it, and play the 202.5 to go over. I also think player prop wise, Paolo Banchero has a lot on his plate right now. Like the Orlando Magic don't have a true point guard. So Paolo Banchero is doing a lot, trying to score, trying to facilitate. He had 9 turnovers in game number 1. I don't even know if that's a prop that you can take. But I do expect Paolo Banchero to continue to turn the basketball over. Remember, the Magic finished one of the worst teams in the NBA with turning the basketball over. Like they'll turn it over very, very quickly and consistently. And if you expect that same level of intensity from the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I kind of do, especially like I said, with it being a bad matchup for Orlando, I think you could look at Paolo to go over on his turnovers. Not even sure what the line is. And the other thing I think is in play as well is if you have one of those sports book that has like a player performance double, looking at Jared Allen, his double in a win is probably really good money as well. I do think Cleveland wins the game. And the rebound opportunities are going to be there because Orlando's going to struggle to score the basketball, primarily because they shoot a lot of shots at the rim. Cleveland's very good at defending the rim. And I think Jared Allen might have had a double in the first half in game 1. So I would look to run that back. Jared Allen double in a win. Jared Allen over his rebound prop in general, and Paolo Banchero over his turnover specifically. Let's see what you guys are saying real quick on this one before we move on to game number 2. Let's see. Yeah, I need a bounce back too, DJ Brian B. Derek says Halliburton wet the bed. Paul George came up short. He says George Paul came up short. They won though. Knicks gonna cover tonight. I don't think so. We're gonna talk about that. Derek says, yeah, I think Philly done. I made a series winning parlay. Took everybody that lost last night except Dallas. But depending on how Kawhi comes back, Dallas should win that series. What up to my guy Justin? Cashed on the Clippers yesterday. Cashed on the Bucks, and he says Celtics team total over 112.5. Shout out to Justin, man. Justin, you need to be on the show, man, because you giving out more winners right now than me. Derek says the blowout affected a number on some of the props, but definitely on the total. What up, Eric? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, super bad day yesterday, Anthony. 1-3, man. It's not looking good right now. Jamie says good morning. That Mavs game was nasty work. Gafford had a horrible game, and nobody could stop Zubac. I like the Knicks and Nuggets to cover today. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Zubac looked like Shaq at the beginning of the game yesterday. I'm like, bro, this was the game plan without Kawhi, just to get the ball to Zubac and he was going to go to work. But I digress. What up, RL? Justin says, I got Cavs game 1 and series in my pocket, not touching. No more Cavs game. I like my position. Couldn't talk you off. Jose, top of the morning. Peasy, top of the morning. Stephen says, Cleveland again. Magic aren't ready for these people, bro. Yeah, I think if the Orlando Magic gonna keep one close to this, it's gonna be in Orlando. Remember, I gave you guys the numbers. Orlando's been much better at home than they've been on the road. So I do think, like I said, if I had to play it, it would be Cavs minus the 5.5. I didn't touch it. And when I went to sleep last night, it was actually some 5s out there as well. I think on Bet Rivers and might have been one more sportsbook, but I didn't play it. Steve says I've been seeing the playoffs great so far. I'm glad to hear that. Fred, good morning, my brother. He says good picks yesterday, Chris. Nah, not good picks. He says I went back with OKC, tried to be slick and live wager minus 5.5. Yeah, it's was not good. James says Cleveland team total over. Yeah, I think it's like 103.5, 102.5. I think and the reason why I kind of gave you guys the numbers, but the reason why is just because I mean, like I expected these teams to go under. We gave out the under in game number 1. Like it's too low now though. Like I said, Orlando, they shot 8 for 37 from the 3-point line. 21%. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Cleveland shot 26% from 3-point line. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Also, the way that both of these teams turn the ball over, I think the fast break points could increase as well. And free throws. Orlando shot 19 for 30 from the free throw line. I do expect them to try to get to the free throw line and make more free throws. So I like the over for this game, but I couldn't talk you off a Cleveland team total over, especially if I think they're gonna win the game. PZ says Cavs went 5 for 5 from 3 in the first quarter, then 0 for 13 from 3 afterwards. Yeah, it was terrible. Paulo turnover line 4.5 minus 145 for the over. Jesus, that's steep. Minus 145. I do think that the turnover are going to continue though, because the Magic don't have a true point guard. He has the ball in his hands so much. What up, Alex? What up, Timeline? Timeline reminding people to smash the like button. Appreciate that. Chris Raptor says Cash Wiggins 3.5 points for the OKC game yesterday. PZ says home teams are 9-1 straight up so far to start the playoffs. Dallas was my only loss yesterday, but knew that line wasn't right. Let's see. Cavs and 6 tonight, Stephen says. Justin says, nah, I can't do what you do. We in this together. That's why I'm a member. I support the men. Appreciate that, Justin. Appreciate that for sure. And DC says Cleveland against Orlando, not going to win until they get home. And I kind of agree with that. I do kind of agree with that. Cody says, love the format of the show. Started watching yesterday. Living with the chalk, Cleveland by 4.5, and Donovan Mitchell points and Allen rebounds. I like it, Cody. I do. I like those plays a lot. Do like those. And then Stephen says, I'm going to check out Allen props out. I'm not a prop guy, but I like that look. Yeah, I think, man, the craziest thing is I come on here and I give out props all the time. Like leans, not stuff that I'm putting money on. And it's typically cash. It's been cashing better than the sides have. And if you've been following me for the last few years, I started NBA betting by playing player props. But I just it's so volatile, man. It's so volatile. But the playoffs, I probably will get back into it. And the ones that I talked about, I do really like. I do really like a lot. Will says, "What up, though, Chris? Rise and grind, everyone. Stay encouraged if things aren't going your way right now. It's a sprint, not a marathon. We trust you. I'm on the Cavs minus the 5.5. Appreciate that, Will. And yeah, it's Cavs. It'd be Cavs or nothing for me as well." SK says, "What's up, Chris? Dame having 35.5 and then nothing in the second half was funny." I agree with that as well. Prestigious Prodigy says, "Shout out to Chris, ChrisBeCappinn, letter commitment." I'm always trying to cash, man. I'm always trying to give out winners, man. That's why I do the show. I'm not on here just to talk. Like, if I wanted to talk, I got friends I can talk about the game with. I'm definitely trying to cash. What up, BJ? And James says, Magic Cleveland might be a good game to look at defensive props. Yeah, I agree with this. Let's keep pushing, get on to the next game, man. I appreciate the interactions from the comments, though. We got the 76ers and the Knicks up next, man. I know a lot of people like the Knicks. I can see it already in the comments. This line opened at, I think it opened at 4.5, and it's up to 5, I think, on most books. Let me double check it real quick. Yeah, it's up to 5. I think I saw it touch 5.5 as well. And the total is coming down. It opened at 209.5, down to 208. So I talked about in the first game between Orlando and Cleveland, I like the over at 202.5 because that total I feel like's dropped a tad bit too much. And, think it's multiple ways that both teams can contribute to scoring a few more points, specifically from the three-point line. But Philly, New York, I actually like the under here. It's down to 207 on some books. This was another total that I gave out the other day, and I really, really like the under for. And I do think that this one comes into play here. And I'll tell you guys why. So as far as the side, I kind of lean Philly. Not touching Philly, though, just because Embiid's health is a tad bit too concerning for me. Like, if you watch the way that the Knicks won that game the other day, I don't think that they can is it possible they can replicate it? Absolutely. I don't think that they're going to replicate it, though. I think the Sixers are being slept on. I just can't bet them because Embiid one fall, like we saw the last game, with that knee when he threw himself the oop off the backboard, and it could be over for him. And then I do like the Knicks. So if Embiid plays the full game, though, I kind of like the Sixers in a bounce back spot here. I'm not, like I said, I'm not touching it, so I'm not even going to get into that. I want to talk about the side here. I'm sorry, not the side. I want to talk about the total. So like I said, first of all, it's already moving in the opposite direction, right? It opened at 209.5. It's down to 208. And the last game went over. We were on the under. And in my opinion, the game went over because Josh Hart hit a bunch of threes. I think it was 3 threes in the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter of that game. And that led the Knicks to shoot 45% from the three-point line. I don't think that's happening again. Philly came into game one allowing teams to shoot just 36% from the three-point line in the previous 2 weeks. I think that the Knicks shooting regresses here. So similar to how I think Orlando and Cleveland score more points because they shot so bad from the three-point line, I think that the Knicks shoot worse from the three-point line here. Philly also gave up 26 second chance points, the most of any team. If y'all watched the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Pelicans play last night, the Pelicans were cleaning the glass and scoring at will second chance points. A lot of them was Trey Murphy three-pointers, CJ McCollum three-pointers. Jonas Valanciunas had 17 rebounds and nine offensive rebounds. And the Knicks were in that same category. And they are a good team. They are a very good rebounding team, but I don't think Philly's going to give up 26 second chance points. I know that the Knicks are one of the better offensive rebounding teams, one of the better rebounding teams in general, but I don't think the Sixers is going to get out-rebounded the way that they did. The Knicks won the offensive rebound battle 23-9. I don't think Philly giving up 23 offensive rebounds. Paul Reed, Tobias Harris, and B, y'all going to have to box out, man. Y'all going to have to keep the Knicks off the glass. And you knew that was coming. You knew that the Knicks were, going to try to attack they always try to, they're not the greatest shooting team, but they are going to try to score in transition. They're going to try to get offensive rebounds. And that's what the 76ers allowed last game. Sixers probably should have covered if Josh Hart doesn't hit all those threes in a row. And I didn't play the game. I did play the game. I played the Knicks. But I don't like what I saw from that standpoint. I'm not relying upon Josh Hart hitting wide open, or not even wide open, but I guess you could say wide open. I'm not relying on Josh Hart hitting threes. And what else did I want to mention this one? Fast break points. So Philly allowed the Knicks to have 27 fast break points. On the season, the Knicks only averaged 15 fast break points. So I think we see some regression there as well. Philly, they're not that bad of a transition defense. I think we see some regression there. I think the Knicks don't shoot as well from the three-point line. I'm almost talking you guys into a Knicks team total under, But I do think that Philly's gonna struggle to score the ball as well. As long as you got OG and Anunoby out there, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, like they got really good defenders. Also, McBride shot what? McBride hit like 4 or 5 threes himself. I don't think that's gonna happen again. So I see regression coming from this game. I like this game to go under. I know I got burnt on the total in the last one, but 208, I think it's some 208s out there. But consensus was 207.5. I might even be a 208.5. I think the 208.5 might be gone. Excuse me. Let me double check it real quick. Yeah, I think the 208. Yeah, 208 is available on Caesars right now. It's also available on Bet365. Unless you got underdog, 208.5 is gone. But I do like the under in this game. I like the under a lot. And I think the Sixers could cover. Those are just my thoughts. Let me see what you guys are saying in this one before we move on to the next one. What up, Tasha? I see Tasha in the comments. Giddy's under was the most money. Was the money my best bets I've made. I think you misspelled some stuff, but I get what you're saying, Hornets. Glad you cashed that. Let's see. Prop betting in playoffs is good because you can kind of get a rhythm of the players. I agree with this, DC. Definitely agree with that. Steven says, yeah, I've been checking you out for a long time, bro. I just don't comment a lot. Long time guy with Jay Money and Kyle Kerms, which Kerms tried to get me on the show so many times in the past. Okay, shout out to Kyle. Let's see. Justin says everyone acted like Dame was washed. Wonder if they still have that same opinion. Without Giannis, he's number one guy, and clearly the Pacers don't play any defense. Topline says Philly money line. First time I've seen that today. BJ says 76ers tonight as well. Tasha said Embiid look high off perks. Luka plays no defense. McBride saved them. Yeah, I don't think that's happening again, man. Let's see. 76ers tonight, BJ says. Under, Markel says. And I agree. Will says, I'm going back to the under and living with it. I think both teams have a little more attention to detail, and I don't think the Knicks shoot the ball that well from three again. Under 208 for me, right there with you, Will. That's my favorite play. Maybe my favorite play of the day, honestly. Sixers +5, BJ says, and the money line here. So all the Knicks talk went away. Let's see. Cody says, not news, just an opinion. Embiid is still a question mark. I think he may sit until series goes to Philly. So I was looking into this, Cody. I read a lot of the beat writers and, try to get into the mind of the players. And I think he's going to try to play. I don't like the limp. If you guys saw the video of him limping out of Madison Square Garden, man, it looked like he had a fake leg, prosthetic leg on his left leg, the way he was dragging it. But, it's so much medical treatment you can get. He's probably getting injections right now as we speak and then going back to sleep, if we're being honest. Let's see. Peasy says, I like Jalen Brunson under his 30.5 points. His field goal percentage hasn't been the best against the Knicks the last few games. I think he means against the Philadelphia 76ers. I can see that. I could definitely see that. Embiid just hung around the 3-point line at the end of the game. He did. You could tell he, didn't really want to make a lot of moves here. And that also contributes to the under as well. Yeah, hey Joe, my if you just check out the beginning of the show, always transparent. I'm 3-8 in the playoffs so far, down about a little over 5 units. So I got to get it back too, man. Just check out the beginning of the show. I've been trash in the playoffs so far, but I'm always honest, and I think I'll get it back. We'll finish in the positive. I do think that. Maybe I'll clip this because I do think we'll bounce back for sure. And B wasn't. Wishing B was more aggressive. It's hard being aggressive when you got one leg, BJ. And then Troy, my guy, he says betting on the 76ers is dangerous with Embiid's health, and that's why I didn't do it. Exactly why I didn't do it, Troy. I would agree with that. Let's get on to the last game, but I do like the under. Haven't played it yet, but I think I'm going to get in because I think the total is going to drop down as the day goes on. So under 208 is the play that I would make. Lakers and the Nuggets. Boy. Got the Lakers wrong the other day. I get the Lakers wrong whenever they play against the Nuggets. Feeling hopeful, had a couple days rest. motivated. Nuggets own them 0 for 9 in the last 9 games against the Nuggets. Can't win in Denver. And they come out, score 60 points in the first half. And what do they have? A 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter? I'm sorry, end of the first half. I think they had a 3-point lead. It was 60-57, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 60-57. And what do they do in the third quarter? They score 18 points, get outscored by 16, and then have a mediocre fourth quarter as well where they can't score the ball. Here's the trend with the Lakers. Even if they start off hot, they're like, especially I guess because it's in Denver too, their offense always seems to tail off. So whatever they do well in the first half, it just can't keep happening. And I think that is consistent with LeBron James himself. LeBron James is spectacular in my opinion. I mean, the dude's like 130 years old and still out here doing everything that he's doing. 27 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. But if you go and look deep into the numbers, I can guarantee you that LeBron's production typically drops off in the second half. And I know it dropped off in the second half of this game because he was dominating in the first half. He shot 3 for 3 from the three-point line, didn't make a 3 in the second half. And then you have D'Angelo Russell. 6 for 20 from the field, 1 for 9 from the three-point line. Finished the game with 13 points. And I don't want to let Austin Reeves off the hook either. I know he shot 5 for 9 and 2 for 6 from the three-point line, but he wasn't good. He had 13 points, but he was a minus 12. AD was a minus 12 too, and that was really just because he couldn't stop anybody. But he did finish with 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. And all of that, and the Lakers still ended up losing the game and didn't cover. I was on the Lakers plus 7.5. You see this line at 7. I can't put any more money on the Lakers. I can't do it. Even if I wanted to bet them in this spot, I couldn't do it. The Nuggets are the Lakers' daddy, in my opinion. Lakers, I don't think will get a win in Denver. Will they cover a spread? I'm not sure. Am I willing to put my money on it? No. I think the Nuggets, when it come down to it, the Nuggets just are the Lakers' kryptonite. They expose the Lakers each game. Expose them how? First of all, the Lakers aren't a good rebounding team. If you go in and look at the numbers, they've been getting out rebounded by pretty much the entire season. Outside of the AD and LeBron, this isn't a good rebounding team. And if you're gonna have Austin Reeves out there and D'Angelo Russell, you can't expect to get rebounds. They combined for 7 rebounds in game 1. So Denver out-rebounded the Lakers 49-40, and it was 15-6 on the offensive rebounds. Because if you get Anthony Davis outside the paint, who out there grabbing the rebound for the Lakers outside of LeBron James? The Nuggets exposed the Lakers for being a bad three-point defense. Denver made 15 threes. Lakers made 8. They shot 8 for 29 from the three-point line, 27.6%. Denver exposed the Lakers for being a bad transition defense. Denver scored 21 fast break points. The Lakers only scored 14. Denver exposed the Lakers for not having enough size. Denver scored 64 points in the paint to the Lakers 54 points in the paint. And then they exposed them for not having the consistent role players as well. AD and Bron played their hearts out. 32 points, 27 points. AD had 32 points and the Lakers still lost by 11. LeBron had 27 points to go along with 8 assists and 6 rebounds. And the Lakers still got smoked. They both shot above 50% from the field. Still lost the game by 11 points. Is D'Lo ever going to show up? I'm not 100% sure. 6 for 20 not going to get it done, though. And I think that the Lakers just always going to be they always going to run out of gas, in my opinion, in the fourth quarter, in the second half of being in Denver. They scored 43 points in the second half after having 60 at halftime. And then the bench play, I think, also comes into play. Lakers bench scored 11 points. They all came from Taurean Prince. If Darvin Ham is going to keep D'Angelo Russell in the game and ride with him and let him play 41 minutes and only give, somebody like Gabe Vincent 8 minutes, and I know Gabe Vincent is just coming back, but if you're going to give Gabe Vincent just 8 minutes and not get himself into a rhythm, I think I said this when it first happened, but I'm not a big fan of Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't think that he is a defender at all. Like, I'm not a big Spencer Dinwiddie guy. I think he takes a terrible shot selection. But I feel like Gabe Vincent got to play more. I feel like he got to play more, especially if D'Angelo Russell is going to shoot the ball the way that he has. And I mean, you can say what you want about his regular season. Denver is absolutely his kryptonite. If you remember last year, I was really hard on D'Lo, and I thought he was the reason why we lost the series. And haven't moved from that stance at all. I think it's a lot on D'Lo, to try to defend. The Nuggets gonna keep putting him in a lot of pick and roll action. He's not a great defender. He's also very, very small. They're gonna try to put him on, try to get him on Jamal Murray as much as possible. Jamal Murray gonna continue to go down low in the paint and attack him, and I think that's gonna continue. Jamal Murray finished 22 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 for 9 from the 3-point line. The Lakers were getting 2s. Denver was getting 3s. Michael Porter Jr. hit 3. KCP hit 4. Peyton Watson off the bench hit 2. I think both of those were in the first half. And of course, Jokic does what Jokic does: 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. I can't bet the Lakers, man. I wish you guys the best of luck. I'm not betting the game. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys what I was looking at, and why I can't trust the Lakers. So even with them playing a perfect first half, still only had a 3-point lead. But like I said, they scored 43 points in the second half, and they get smoked in the third quarter. The Nuggets covered the full game in the third quarter. Like, it was just them winning by 16 in the third quarter that made them end up winning the game by 11 points. And the spread was only 7. So I'm not on the Lakers. I'm not on Denver either. But I'll sit and watch this one. Let's see what you guys are saying about this game. I do think there's some merit to maybe first half over again, because the Lakers always run out of gas late. So Lakers, first half over again, and then maybe the full game goes under, but I didn't play anything. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Chill says, Lakers tonight, bro. Bet it. Best of luck to you. I hope you cash it. BJ says, Lakers stink. Can't beat the Nuggets. Tasha's going back to the Lakers in the first half plus the 4.5. She says they've been covering the first half the last 4 games. Steven says, I think the Lakers are psychologically screwed up, bro. That last game was very disappointing. I agree. Darvin Ham in the post-game interview said, like, it's zero room for error. Like, it's no room for error if you're the Lakers, because the Nuggets they are the kryptonite. Like I said, I gave you guys all the reasons, but I mean, this team is just a much better rebounding team, much better 3-point shooting team. They exposed the Lakers in all of the ways that, the Lakers have flaws, in my opinion. He says, I can only look towards the Nuggets here. Justin says, 77 figure says, unfortunately, the Lakers don't have the horses. Nuggets -7 to the Lake Show. Lakers show me otherwise. And I could get behind that. What up, Lightbearer? Appreciate you for tapping in. The boy says Lakers defense was horrible in the second half. Really was just the third quarter. They only gave up 25 to Denver in the fourth quarter, but they gave up 32 in the third quarter. DC says Lakers don't have a bench. AD or Braun have to be in the whole game, and it does kind of feel like that. It does feel like that. I mean, they got no contributions from the bench besides Taurean Prince. And Spencer Dinwiddie came in. He was a -12 in 13 minutes, a -12. Didn't shoot the ball, had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a foul. And the Lakers got outscored by 12 points when he was in. Troy says Lakers always look gassed in the second half, not only in Mile High, just a serious basketball, just not a serious basketball team. I think they are a serious basketball team, Troy. I would argue that LeBron James is just old. And he carries this team for a lot of it. I don't think Anthony Davis is going to have another 32 and 14 type game. That 14 rebounds, I don't think he's going to have 32 points. PG says, I have D'Lo under 15.5 points at plus 100 in my back pocket. He's terrible against Denver. Could be the look. Could definitely be the look here. What else? Will says, Lakers are best when they are the bigger team against opponents. The Nuggets completely neutralized that. It's just a bad matchup for them all around. I think the Lakers win game. I think the Lakers win game 1. Win one game this series, maybe. Yeah, that's why they have to play a perfect game. This is exactly what I said in my notes and what Will is saying as well. They need to be the bigger team, and they're not the bigger team in this matchup. Jared says Lakers money line when they go back to crypto. I wouldn't even do that. What up, Prolific? He says it's been brutal. Definitely agree there. Roger says, what about Lakers first quarter? I mean, if you like the Lakers and you're trying to find a way to play them, you definitely want to do it early, Roger. That's all I'll say. I'm not taking the Lakers in any capacity. I don't got any more money to put on them. Not this Lakers team. Yeah, definitely broke. I'm interested to see what Ski got to say about it today. Hopefully I get a chance to tune into a show. I totally agree with your assessment with the Lakers team. Our Lakers team, Stephen says. Yeah. BJ says, hope the Lakers lose tonight so we can hammer them game 3. I wouldn't even do that, man. Russell makes his shots, probably a very different game. That's a fact, Cody, but will he ever make them? Go back and look at the game logs from last season. For whatever reason, it's like he playing with a blindfold on whenever he go to Denver. And Justin says, I'm the dummy who bet the Lakers plus 290 series. That's on me. Absolutely no Lakers bets for me. Not a chance. Death, taxes, and Nuggets beat the Lakers are 3 things guaranteed in life. And for whatever reason it is, DC says took the Nuggets -7. I could only look that way as well. Young News says, good morning. Lakers ain't it, my boy, and I'm a big LeBron fan. Denver just got the number, and it's all in them if they want to cover or not. Still like the over 2. Okay, Sean, what up, man? Appreciate you. He says good looks on the show. And Joshua says, do you think Christian Wood coming back will make a difference for the Lakers? So 2 reports came out, Joshua. First one said that he could potentially return. The last one said that he's I saw one that said that both him and Jared Vanderbilt probably won't even play in the first round. And that was the second one that I saw, not the first one. So I don't think he's gonna make a difference. No, like Christian Wood is a guy that stretches the floor, and he's more of an offense. Well, not even more. He's an offensive player, not a defense type player. The Lakers don't need more offense, in my opinion. They need more defense. You need to be able to slow the Nuggets down, not be able to score more. Well, I guess you do need to be able to score more, but you need to be able to score more from the perimeter. Lakers always struggle against the Nuggets because they can't. D'Lo and Austin Reeves end up going missing. And if one of those guys can go for 20, 22, 23 points with LeBron James and Anthony Davis also going for 20, I think the Lakers will have a chance. Do I believe it's possible? I mean, it is possible, but shots don't go in, especially in Denver. I don't think Christian Wood coming back will have any kind of effect, though. He's not going to stop anybody. And offensive players, like if a player's coming back, in my opinion, I want a player that's coming back. If they're coming back late in the series, I want the player that's coming back that can play defense, not that can play offense. Defense is something that, to me, it's easier to get into a defensive rhythm than an offensive rhythm. So I don't want Christian Wood coming back. I think he throws off the floor even more, and I don't think it helps any. Let's see. Get that parlay says Russell's a roller coaster. He's on the downward trajectory right now. Trace says Knicks -4.5, Nuggets -7, Cleveland Magic under. So we are not in agreement on some of these. Robotic says the need to attack Jokic in the pick and roll. They need to attack Jokic in the pick and roll. And it was one more thing I wanted to mention real quick. We can get into the recap real quick, and then I'm getting off here. One more thing I wanted to mention. So I was giving out some trends, and I think this one was worth mentioning when I do these handicaps, and I'm just looking at game 2s in general. So I want to say this about a couple of these games is that home favorites who won, and this actually applied to every single game today because all the home favorites won in tonight's matchups. Home favorites who won game 1 and then they have a stronger line in game 2 are 55-12 straight up, 40, 26-1 against the spread, and that's goes back throughout the whole Killer Sports database. So home favorites who won game 1 and then the line is even stronger for them to win game 2 typically win and typically cover 55-12 straight up, 40, 26-1 against the spread. Those games are 38, 28-1 to the under, so 57.6%. But that's just all Killer Sports database. However, since the start of the 2016 season, those trends are 24-2 straight up. So that says to back all the favorites tonight, 24-2 straight up, 19-6-1 against the spread, 76%, including 10-0 straight up and against the spread in the last 10, 15-11 to the over though in the last 26 matchups. So I like this trend for Orlando Cleveland to go over the 202.5. It also backs Cleveland minus the 5.5. It does not support Philly and New York to go under 208, but these were the top 3 plays that I like today the most. Home favorites who won game 1 have a stronger line in game 2. Like I said, since 2016, 19-6-1 against the spread, says to take all the favorites today. Because the line moves stronger in their way, 76%. And 10-0 straight up and against the spread in the last 10. I don't just ride these trends blindly though, but I do like Cleveland minus the 5.5 if I had to play it. Orlando and Cleveland to go over 202.5, and then Philly and New York to go under 208 if I had to make 3 plays. Full transparency, I didn't bet any of these yet, but this is the only ways that I'm looking at the games today. Best of luck to you guys, and and I'm not touching that Lakers game. Best of luck to you guys, man, on whatever it is that you do play. Resources as always listed here. Shout out to OddsJam as I always do. Best sports betting software on the planet, in my opinion. Check them out if you guys haven't already. Use code CBC to get 25% off your first month if you are interested in taking your sports betting to the next level and just getting all the perks that they have over there. And that's the show for today, man. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys can, share the videos if you guys can, bet responsibly. Best of luck on all your action for today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.